We continue our journey here. Big 12 Media Days, Frisco, Texas, the Star, home of the Dallas Cowboys, and UCF trying to bounce back from a year ago, 2-7 in conference play, 4-8 overall, as they look to rebuild and get back to the glory days of one Scott Frost, the head coach at UCF, who returns to campus to try to get them back. And this is the best we're going to look all day because the night is actually running the camera. It's about time they got McElroy in focus. Welcome back, Coach Frost. Welcome back to UCF. How's it felt to come essentially home for you?
It's been great. My wife and I had our first child there. We loved it there for 2 years. Obviously took a detour then, but it was a pretty easy decision when they offered the job again to go back home, a place we feel like is home, and people that have treated us so well and are continuing to do so. So I'm excited to try to help UCF get back where it should be.
When you did get the call, I always find this fascinating. You stay out of the job for a couple of years, and then you get the call to return. When you get the call to return to a place where you had so much success, what was that moment like for you that kind of solidified that, yep, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go back?
I was actually in LA with the Rams and flew down to Dallas here to meet with the guys from UCF, and I think it was that interview and just kind of seeing Terry Mahajer, our AD, and the other people surrounding the program and their vision for what they wanted, and knowing how good a place it had been to me the first time, and how easy it is to recruit there with the talent around, and how beautiful our campus and city are. I was excited to try to help them kind of recapture their position in college football.
It's kind of amazing. I mean, when you left, the world and the landscape was so different. I mean, of course, in the AAC, now in the Big 12. So the job you left, very different than the job you inherited. How have you kind of embraced the new challenges that the current version of UCF is trying to deal with?
UCF has unique growth potential,
yeah.
and it's changed since I've been there. You know, it's such a new school, but it's such a big student body that the alumni base will continue to grow, the support will continue to grow. I'm excited, kind of helped along that path once, and I'm excited to be a part of that ride again. College football's changed too.
Yeah.
I had to learn on the fly with all this new rev share and NIL and everything going on, and I think we did a good job putting together not just a talented group of kids, but a high character group of guys, and I'm excited to get to work with them.
Coach, I'm curious. You mentioned that last season you were with the Los Angeles Rams and Coach Sean McVay, and I think as players we learn from one another, and you coaches learn from one another. What is maybe a nugget or two that you picked up from being on Coach McVay's staff?
I think the biggest thing is just the tremendously talented people he surrounded himself with. From top to bottom, everybody in that building is awesome to be around and pulls the rope in the same direction. Sean is unbelievable. He knows every assignment that every player on the field has, offense and defense, and he's able to help everyone. We started out slow last year when I was a part of it, and he did a great job of staying even keel so that nobody panicked and they got back on track, and it was a great experience for me, and I'm grateful to those guys for giving me a chance to do it.
We talked about landscape, you talked about the recruiting, and really when you look at UCF and its position in the state of Florida and in college football, there's so much talent in and around that area. It seems to me in this new era, you're in a perfect spot to get the guys the second time around that perhaps left to go somewhere else the first time that want to come back home. How advantageous is that for you now with the way college football has evolved since you were last at UCF?
We're going to focus not just on transfers, but on local homegrown kids too the first time around. But you're right, on top of a lot of other things, the transfer portal seems to be a giant mechanism to get kids back closer to home. And we got calls from a lot of kids that had gone off and done well that wanted to come back closer to home and play football. So we'll welcome those kids back with open arms. Obviously, it's a negotiation for every player on your team now, so that plays into it. But in general, Florida kids want to be back in Florida, and if they're the right ones, we'd love to have them back.
Plus, no state income tax. That's a win as well. Great call. A new advantage that we're constantly learning about. Quarterback competition right now. I know that's something that's yet to be decided. What do you want to see from those guys that are vying for that job to see who's going to tee it up as your guy week one?
Yeah, in spring, we saw a lot from all three of them that would lead us to believe they can be successful. I'll tell you the truth. I would go into the season with any one of the three and feel like feel good that they can go win us games. I just haven't seen any separation yet. So I'm anxious for somebody to really take that next step forward and take the lead. We're not just going to anoint anyone. It's got to be earned, and however long that takes, that's how long it takes to figure it out. But the sooner it kind of reveals itself, I think the better we'll be for continuity and reps.
Going back to your year in the National Football League, and then when you talk about the college football landscape, salary cap, right, portal guys, you have an exodus of guys, but then you have 40 newcomers come in. I have to assume you spent some time in the front office, maybe talking with some of those guys in the NFL and how they manage all those things on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I did. You said 40. We have 68 new players on our football team, I think. I don't know if we're leading the country in that.
Wow.
But, and taking all those guys and making them a team is going to be a challenge. I did spend a lot of time with the front office guys and seeing how they evaluated and those things. The difference is right now we don't know if there's an actual salary cap in college football or not. I think that's what they're intending. I'm rooting for it. I hope it happens. I think it'll make college football a better game, but TBD if they're going to actually make that happen and people are going to stick to that. And, when one team has a cap and the other doesn't, that gets a little hard and the evaluation gets more difficult. But we'll see where all this lands, and I know smart people are working to try to make this a better situation.
If the smart people would have worked on this years ago, we wouldn't be in the stupid situation we're in now. But that's a whole other conversation for a different show. 3 straight home games to open up the season in your second stint at UCF. At least schedule-wise, you get to be in front of the home crowd. That includes against Bill Belichick, North Carolina, September 20th. But when you look at your schedule as a whole, this Big 12 conference, top to bottom, probably is the deepest in the country.
It is. I've been watching the league from afar for a couple years, and what I love about the league is it's fair and it's balanced. Mm-hmm. You can make an argument any team in this league could win this league if they put it together and play well, and I don't think that's the case in every league. Excited to be in it. 3 home games, I think, with a younger, more inexperienced team that hasn't played together. I think that's going to help us. I played for Bill for 2 years with the New York Jets when I was starting my career, so I haven't seen him in a long time, but I know how great a coach he is, so we'll have a real challenge there.
It'd be fun if you could hang one on Belichick. Like,
that'd be great.
You're in my world now, big boy. Coach, welcome back. So good talking to you. Can't wait to see what you do a second time around at UCF. We're going to keep the UCF theme. We're going to go over to Katie now with one of the Golden Knights' best players. Katie?
Thanks, Matt. I'm with running back Myles Montgomery. Myles, you're looking sharp. Please show off this custom suit that you came to Dallas in.
We got the custom suit. We got the UCF on the inside, custom made for Myles Montgomery. Then we got the Myles on the cuff.
I love that. I don't know if you can see the cuff here. We'll turn it that way.
Then got his name. All the way down to the socks. I'm UCF'd out today. UCF out today.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You look great. You look very sharp. You said that some of the other guys here today went with a little bit louder suits.
They're not louder, but they just got some more customization. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to wait. I'm not going to spoil their suits, but yeah.
What's the offseason been like for you under new head coach Scott Frost down in Central? Oh, we've got a visitor here. Hi, Nitro. What's going on, buddy?
It's been different just because now I have a leadership role that I'm into. Mm-hmm. Usually I'm just the guy who's just not really talkative, just doing everything right. But it's been good. I've learned a lot about myself too, just being vocal and how much of influence I really have.
Do you feel like you've had to push yourself out of your comfort zone to be able to do that for the team?
Yeah, I really wasn't much of a talker at first, but now it's like second nature to me. I love it. I love leading people. I love the guys counting on me.
What was your first impression when Scott Frost decided to take over?
I don't know. I was pretty just optimistic. I didn't really know. I didn't know him, so I don't know what to expect. But I will say it's good having a younger coach because you can relate to him more. I've been saying all day today, everything everyone ever said about Coach Frost is true. He's such a good dude. He's got some swagger to him too.
Yeah, in what ways?
It's just he's kind of like one of us in a way. I can't really explain it too much. You see him today, he's got a suit on and some Jordans. You want to play for a guy like that.
For sure. Now you spent some time playing alongside R.J. Harvey a season ago. He amassed 1,600 rushing yards last season. What were some of the lessons you learned from playing with him?
I learned a lot from him. I tried my best to do literally everything he did. Right? I'd be a fool not to, seeing the success. But I have a lot of work to do. I got my work cut out for me, but it shouldn't be too hard. I've already been preparing myself to fill out Harvey's shoes.
With that, the quarterback question is still up in the air going into the fall camp. How much responsibility do you and the other running backs feel to be a really strong point of emphasis in this offense this fall?
Yeah, I just feel like being able to run the football, like that'll help a quarterback out, right? Because the defense has to worry about something other than passing the ball. So it should make it easy on all of them. But yeah, that's really the focal point.
When you think back to last season, going into this year, I'd say maybe a season ago was a bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
What are the expectations and the vision that Coach Frost has for you guys?
Coach, he's really trying to instill in us, one, brotherhood, and two, winning at all costs. We want to win in everything we do. Everything's a competition, no matter what the outside world tells you. Like in our building, everything's a competition. So we're just having that winning mindset, and that'll transfer over to the field.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Myles. Thanks for stopping by
ma'am.
and visiting
Thank
with us. Thanks, Nitro. We appreciate your presence, your silent presence as well. Matt Barry, how's it hanging?
Yeah, Katie, if you could